Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is the birthday reading for birthday number 1. And so your birthday number describes a sub-opportunity that you have. And we call it a sub-opportunity because your main opportunity in life is your life path number. But your birthday number is what supports your life path. So 1, how can you support your life path, whatever that is? Well, you can be creative, you can be original, you can be bold, independent, be a trailblazer. You can be unafraid to go, to go at it alone. Just determined, ambitious. You're like a one-man show, right? And so when you think about your life path and what the energy of that is, consider that your birthday number is to support. It's to give you another energy. So imagine the numbers 1 through 9 is people. Every number is a personality. Literally, it is a personality. And so your life path is one personality. And in the event you need an additional energy to tap into, this would be that number for you. So you would tap into being this bold, independent leader, this way shower, right? As a 1, in order to support your life path number, whatever that energy is. All right, at the bottom of the deck, we have Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to, I'm sorry, you can't even see it. Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. Now I'm going to lay the cards out a little differently so that you can see the view that I would have been seeing in the past. And my little piece of tape on the table is to help me make sure I keep it straight. All right, let's see what's up first. Oh, this is not bad in this deck. This is a snake, but it says shed old skin. So, is that straight? So far, ones, it is evident that you guys are you are growing, right? Something's leaving, something's coming. Next card out, we have Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. All right, so maybe you knew, maybe you didn't know, but I believe that you are becoming aware that you do have a connection with spirit, and you at any point can tap into gifts, right? Gifts are like assets, superpowers, and they are not the same for all of us. So this is really about you understanding what you possess, right? This is digging within, kind of being comfortable with releasing the identity that you used to really define self to others. And now this is about accepting, a deeper understanding of who you are based on spirit, based on who we are forever, right? This existence is only for a period of time, but our soul is forever. Next card out, we have Stag. Trust and thrive. And so I feel like that's a reminder from spirit, that if you trust in what you possess, you will thrive, right? But it's new, and sometimes new is uncomfortable. And if it's not something mainstream or that people naturally and easily understand, we have trouble accepting different aspects of self because we're like, well, nobody's going to get it, An extra card that came out we have is Spring. See your seeds grow. And so that would be 2 references. We have shed old skin and see your seeds grow. I see those to be very similar. Shed old skin, we talked about getting rid of the old, allowing the new to come in. And so that, spring is a season, and that's what seasons do. One season dies off and another one begins. It's almost like the changing of the guards. But in this sense, there is no continuation of change. There's always change, but once you release what was, it will never come back again, right? So we are releasing it to step into what's new. And Spirit is saying at some point along your journey, you planted seeds, right? And so you can count on in your life based on what you have done spiritually. Let's just call it spiritually credit, very similar to financial credit, but you can build it over time. And so you have been building spiritual credit over time based on your energy, your beliefs, your intentions, your actions, your openness to others, and your willingness to just embrace life no matter what it brings. You're just an active participant. And because of that, and that is the energy of the 1, like just willing to just do it all, right? Just very determined to live this thing without regret. But nonetheless, because of that type of energy, it will appear to be springtime in your life. We have rabbits. Rabbits are very ornery little lovers, right? And they are fruitful, and they are abundant. And so this is what your life will appear to be going through for you, a period of growth because of the work, because of the credit that you have accrued in your journey thus far. And this was the extra card that came out. So that's good to know, right? And we already talked about the bottom of the deck. So Peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. So when I see this, I think of relationships, right? And so we know that as we grow in our own personal space, it's not always guaranteed that the relationships, the people, places, and things around us are going to grow as we grow, you know? We don't all grow at the same time, at the same rate. And so maybe there were old aspects to self about how we deal with others, right? You're very independent. And so you are just a natural leader, whether someone's in your company or not, that is just the energy you possess. And so when you're adding in another, I feel like there's a level of integrity and just boldness that you have that others may not. And so any event, because of that, at times I kind of see the energy of a swords, but you know, you're logical, you're rational, and you have to be, just because of the risk and the drive that you apply to life. But you also can appear at times to be no nonsense, right? And so in the event there's a situation that took place with another person, this is asking you to more step into the energy of the two, which is the literal peacekeeper, the energy of balancing. So no matter what your stance, position, or opinion is in a situation with another, Spirit is just saying, this is the overall situation too. So this may be a pretty big deal. Let go of the need to be right. Right. Just be a peacekeeper. So this could be you and another person, you amongst a group. This could happen anywhere in your life. So just keep that in mind as you know, navigate things, people, relationships, experiences. Okay, so we had 2 extra cards come out. I'm just going to take note of them. We have spiritual alignment, puts my manifestation into motion. So anything that you want to see change in your life, you and spirit have to be on the same page, right? And so once you and spirit are on the same page, once you understand the assignment, then as you act and as you make that assignment come to life, whatever you want will also follow. Other bonus is feeling good will bring me far more than whatever I thought I needed. So it feels good to feel good, right? And in that space, that is an abundant feeling. It's contagious. At the bottom of the deck, you have, I accept that good things come easily. I am a super attractor. And so ones, I mean, you're very independent, but this is about you being literally the magician in your own life, right? This is about you emotionally checking your own temperature, making sure that you feel good, that you are starting from a happy space, right? Um, in general, this is making sure that you and spirit are speaking the same language, right? But apparently you are. Apparently you already understand the assignment, because we had the bonus card that talked about this being your season, this appearing to be spring in your life. And as a result of that, you know, a harvest is coming your way. Alrighty, so let's start going through some of our message cards. So shed old skin, we have the snake. Next to that, we have when I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in vibrational alignment with my true love nature. And there are 2 cardinals. There are cardinals all the time in my backyard. When I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in vibrational alignment. Okay, so so this is, so when spirit says shed the old skin, how are you to shed that old skin? Well, gratitude. To exist in a state of appreciation. That should be the new energy that you just live in, where you are just appreciative for this existence no matter what. And in doing so, that is how you get on the same page with spirit. So when spirit says, hey, it's time to manifest, but I need you to align, you're like, oh my God, what do I have to do to align? Well, first message, you're going to shed your old skin. You're going to let go of what was and step into what's new. And the way that you step into what's new is by staying in a state of appreciation, right? Because that is when you vibrate in the level that spirit can work with you best. And that is your your natural nature, to just love. And love is about embracing and accepting things as they are, right? Not needing to control. And so just appreciate the journey. That is the new that you should embrace. That's pretty exciting. You know, there are no questions about what spirit is asking you to do. So then we had Shapeshifter. It said transform and unveil your gifts. Now next to that, it says, I believe I'm worthy of feeling good. So guys, let me just say this. We had a bonus card talk about feel good. We have another card that's speaking of feeling good. We have appreciation here. And then we have being able to unveil your gifts. If you don't believe that you're worthy, then you're not going to be able to see your full potential, right? So I just wanted to say that whatever space you're in life right now, if something doesn't feel good, if life doesn't look good, if people aren't treating you well, this is not something that you are going to stay in forever. This is not the final outcome. So let's just get that out there so that you know that this too shall pass, okay? Um, But sometimes the dark and gray spaces are necessary because they're indicators of change that's required in our life. But nonetheless, it is time for you to shapeshift. One of your gifts is that you are therapeutic. You are a natural peacemaker. Yes, you can go at it alone, but you do have the ability to work with another very well. And in doing so, Spirit is saying resist the urge to prove that you know best, right? Allow the energy to flow without the need to control. But you have a gift that needs to come out. But if you are not aware of your worth and your value, then your gift won't know it's time to express itself. So you almost have to nest. You have to prepare a home for your gift to feel safe so that it can expose itself and so that it can grow. When I think of nest, I think of what women do in the final stages of pregnancy, where they really start to make their home and prepare for the birth and the presence of their new baby, you know? And so your gift is your new baby and it's ready to come. But you must know that one, you possess it, and two, you're worthy of having it and of using it and of allowing it to bring value to your life, right? So you are going through a shape-shifting period. So that is literally what you're going through right now in life. So what am I doing in my life? I'm shape-shifting. Like this is what's happening right now, for the one. And so I wanted to say this. When Spirit says peacekeeper, I also want to say, please keep peace with yourself as you go through this newness. And listen, it's uncomfortable to change, to grow, to release, to let go, to understand things that are just new. Sometimes it's uncomfortable until we get our bearings. So be at peace with yourself, forgive yourself for not knowing, and just kind of allow this thing to unfold. Alrighty. So, stag, trust and thrive, right? No matter what it looks like and feels like, trust, 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 trust. The message that came out next to trust was, my greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force, they come through freedom. We just talked about control, not trying to control situations, right? But really just allowing things to unfold naturally, and unveil themselves to us, right? And so listen, good things are coming to you. And if you know that, and if you live in that vibration, then there's no doubt. At the bottom of the tarot deck, we have Seven of Swords. So this can be the energy of moving in silence, you know, doing things in secrecy, withholding information. Now, sometimes it can have maybe a malicious undertone, but at other times it's at all cost, I am protecting whatever it is that I am moving towards in my life. We can say that that's the energy. So we will read more into this, and let's see. So in the center, we have the King of Wands, and this is the 9-card spread, and this is the center. So the King of Wands, this is a master of energy, of force. This is, somebody who has the ability to control fire, to direct light, right? So we are talking about passion. We're talking about magnetism, right? And so when we are talking about your ability to shapeshift, that's what we are speaking of. Man who can become lion, right? That is what's inside of you. You have an inner lion. On this card here for shapeshifter, we have wolf and eagle. And so it's almost, you have an instinct, a natural instinct within you that you tap into. It makes you cunning and swift and intelligent. You have vision. You are fearless, right? And so those are the things within you that you are tapping into and unleashing, and they will be the driving force for what comes next. How amazing is that? Now, we, as you are shapeshifting, right? It is, you are going to shapeshift into this King of Wands energy, right? Just this warrior, this warrior. Now, when we're talking about peacekeeping and how you are supposed to release the need to be right, now that could be about your story, somebody else's story, but nonetheless, we have the energy of 9 of Swords. And so that's the energy of not being able to have good rest or sleep because our mind is racing with thoughts, possibly just like worry, anxiety, regret, fear, just like really imagining the worst. Imagining the worst. And so that, if that is the space that you're in when we're talking about the need to be right or working with others or really understanding how to step into this new space, I feel like it's necessary, one, that you forgive yourself. For some reason, I just feel like I feel whatever role you have played in any type of situation involving anyone else, you have to forgive yourself, right? Whoever you were yesterday is not who you are today. And so as you step into you, the newness of you, there are some situations that may change because you're changing. You're changing. And so I would say, embrace what's evolving in your story. Allow yourself to grow into this King of Wands. And, after, in order to become the King of Wands, you have to make peace with your mental space, right? You have to shapeshift from a place of purity where you have cleansed all that was blocking you. Now, the beautiful thing is, next to this King of Wands, we have the Six of Swords. So this is, this is when you've come to a mental space and you now have the ability to take action. So the Nine of Swords, this is where you're stuck in your head. You're not really sure about the space that you're in. You don't have sleep. You don't have rest. It's just consuming you. Worry, right? Just worry. It feels sick sometimes, mentally sick. But nonetheless, you will overcome this. And the way to do it is by literally being a peacekeeper with self and with others. If you have the ability to do that, this is when you begin to shapeshift. When you release and don't control situations and allow them to unfold naturally. And if necessary, which it seems it is, we have Six of Swords. So this is you moving away from trouble, from things that are troubling you, plaguing you. This is just saying, you know what? I'm going to take everything I can from this situation. I'm going to take the lessons, but I'm going to leave the nonsense. And I'm going to move to where I know life is more aligned with self. So that is the space you're in. You're stepping into this King of Wands energy. You're allowing yourself to feel regret, remorse, worry, anxiety for mishaps with self and with others. And then you're realizing that I need to feel good. I'm worthy of more, and I want my life to look like that. So I am going to relocate. I'm going to sail away. I'm going to change things, people, places, and things to really reflect the truth I know. I think that's beautiful. And so if you literally have to make a physical move in life to feel good, to make your life look the way you really feel about it, I think that's okay. If this is what you need to do to align yourself for spirit, I think spirit is saying anything that you need is available to you, because this is where you reap the harvest from all that you have done previously, right? So beneath the King of Wands, we have the High Priestess. So I feel like there was a situation at some point where you understood that intuitively you had information. You knew something, right? You received some type of download um, about what was to come, right? Or almost like a vision but of yourself, of your situation. It's like you leveled up an awareness about self, and for you that looked like the High Priestess. It looked like you knowing something without looking for it. It was just almost put within you spiritually. And so what spirit is giving you is that you intuitively need to trust that what is to come is safe. You know, what is to come and what you are to become is safe and aligned with your mission, right? You will thrive, but you have to trust and step into the newness. Now, spirit is offering, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and so this is like a new start. But this is a new start that has an opportunity for abundance. So that's two times. The Ace of Pentacle is a seed. I mean, all aces are some type of seed, but here we have roots, and that's very similar to the spring. See your seeds grow. And so I feel like this is the season you're in. This is when you have the opportunity to level up and to see all the work that you did before really come to fruition. And so, are you seeing this as an opportunity? Do you intuitively know that you have been granted or given something that you have to work with, right? You have to farm and raise the seed. Now is the time that your life is going to require you to act based on the knowledge that you know and the insight that you have now gained. This Ace of Pentacles is telling you that when you are aligned and when you accept that good things are real and available to you, that they are coming. They are coming. And that is the space you live in, where you just constantly need to anticipate that it's coming. And it is whatever you want it to be, right? And that's that High Priestess energy where you just know that this is it. This is it. It's now. It's coming. The time is like, and maybe that's the awakening. Maybe that's the tap, the nudge that you've gotten from spirit. Now, we also have the Seven of Wands, and this is about being elevated after a victory, right? This is about you overcoming struggles. You've achieved some type of victory. People have noticed. You've noticed. You're proud of yourself. But now that you are in this space where others see, how do you handle that? What does that feel like to you? Right? And so 7 is about protecting yourself, because within you know that you are operating from a space of truth and knowledge and wisdom and intellect, right? And so once you know, and once you trust your insight, that inner voice, once you trust that and you believe it and you don't allow anything to sway you or convince you otherwise, that is the space in which spirit can speak to you best, right? Now we have My greatest spiritual shifts don't come through force, they come through freedom. Now, I feel like that is the Seven of Wands. What does freedom look like spiritually? It looks like the High Priestess and the Seven of Wands, eyes closed, right? So we're not looking for anything in the physical world. We're not looking to control anything that we actually can control. We're closing our eyes because we realize that this is something that's taking place elsewhere. It's taking place within. And so freedom for us begins within intuitively, and then it starts to birth itself in our physical world, right? And so force, it almost looks like going to sleep. Go to sleep. Let spirit do the work. You go to sleep. But when you go to sleep, you need to always remember to stay in that space of appreciation and to always expect good to come, because you just know that's the way this life works, right? There's no doubt. And so once you're in this space where you know that spirit has seeded you with something, and if that's a mindset, if that's just an energetic way of being, intuitively, you have just opened yourself up to a new realm. And that is where you have to trust that space you're in, and allow nothing to break it or shake it. Now, once you're in that space, that's what allows you to move on. That's what gives you your peace of mind, right? That's what allows you to say, now that I know what I know, I am required to act a certain way. So now this takes us to the space that we are currently operating in, right? So we realized we had to overcome something to step into this King of Wands, this new fire, this new energy, right? This force, this half man, half beast, right? That's what you are. Just an unstoppable presence, with passion that can take you anywhere and assist you in achieving anything, right? But you had to move away from things mentally. You had to make space for some things. You had to level up intuitively, right? You need to learn to trust yourself, right? You almost needed to learn how to be your own supporter when things may not be clear, right? And how to keep yourself grounded. And so now that we're in this new space, above the Nine of Swords, this is the energy of not being able to sleep and rest. Well, now we have the Three of Cups. And this is an energy of joy and coming together and celebrating and just really aligning yourself with like-minded people. But this is also a card that just talks about others and community and just socializing, and possibly when you involve others, there are also opinions. And so that is the card that's aligned with the Seven of Swords. And I feel like some of the things that you have to shed, some of the things you have to get rid of, some of the things that you need to do in secrecy are involving other people. So we can look at this in two ways. Maybe there are relationships and connections that we are a little bit nervous about because we realize that this new phase in life is requiring us to rid ourselves of people, places, and things, maybe that weren't the best to us or that aren't growing in the way that we are going, and therefore will hold us back in some way at some time, right? So that could be something that's a little nerve-wracking. But nonetheless, Spirit is saying that, you know, we have to become a snake, which is kind of like that Seven of Swords, that snake, that sneaking around energy, doing things behind people's back. You almost have to do that sometimes in order to release what can't go with you. Right? And in order to get to this Four of Wands, this King of Wands is building something, right? It could be a community, it could be a company, it could be a family, it could be a relationship. It doesn't matter. It is something stable. It is something promising. It is something secure. And it takes work, right? And it took passion and vision. And so the King of Wands is wanting to create something in life, but it is requiring this king to let go of the old. And so we have to be comfortable letting go of what was. And if those are relationships, then that is where we need to get on the same page as Spirit. I'm thinking it is involving relationships and others because we have the Eight of Cups. And so once you knew and believed and trusted in who you were and what you possessed, you realized that you had to move away from certain things in order to feel good and to see and have your worth reflected back to you in life. And so as you are building in life, there are relationships that can't go with you, because when you shed the old, that old can be a person, it can be a place, it could be a thing, it could be a habit, a belief, you know? And so this is the energy of walking away, leaving what was to go get what will be. The last message is, when I'm in a well, I'm aligning this with the Eight of Cups. I'm going to read it again. When I'm in a state of appreciation, I'm in vibrational alignment with my true love and nature. And so the Eight of Cups, the energy, this is about aligning. And sometimes in order to be in the right space, you may have to leave another. And that's what the Eight of Cups said. And so we had a couple different things. Many times these cards talked about feeling good, talked about seeds and harvest and spring and reaping, right? But this is also a message about making sure that we are in the right space at the right time to get what we want. And when I say right space, maybe I am talking about physical. Maybe you will have to relocate. But mostly I'm talking about the heart space. Are you open to what the possibilities are? Or are you only going to believe what has been? Mentally, can you see what you desire? Can you feel it, touch it, taste it? Like, can you really see it? The other day I made a shopping cart. I went shopping. I didn't buy, I didn't check out, but everything that I shopped for was everything that I wrote down. I planned it. It's a part of something. Can I afford it now? No. Will I? Yeah. So it's there and it's ready. I just expect it, right? That's the kind of energy. So think about what it is you want. And even if you can't finish the last step, take all the other steps and just wait for that one, you know? So ones, you know, this is a lot of energy. I think you are learning new ways of being you. I think you are learning new ways of connecting with others. And I think you're learning how to build from what you now know to be about you. And in the end, I think you want to feel good. I think you want to smile. I think you want to dance. I think you want to laugh. I think you just want to enjoy life, right? I think that's it. I think you just want to vibe high. And that is yours to have. That is literally the way you feel. You are feeling it because that is the space you're stepping in. And so if you want to step in, trust that you will thrive once you get inside, but make sure that you take off all of the old, because it can't fit, it can't go. That's behaviors, thoughts, people, places, things, habits, all that good stuff. All right, ones. Hopefully something in here was beneficial. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take care.